Okay, what's going on? We're going to be creating a text and a shape logo. We're going to combine a text and a shape logo, and these are some samples that we have here. We're going to be creating some amazing logos today. So let's jump in and make this video really short. So I'm going to change design to a default design. I'll click OK over there. I'm going to change my image size. So I'm going to click the tick dot over here, head over to my image size, and we'll head over to YouTube thumbnail. I'll hit the custom preset and I'll choose YouTube thumbnail. Right, so we have this new text over here. We're going to tap the new text. We're going to hit edit. So we have that over there. Now hit edit. We're going to insert our text that we want to add. So just add my a, right? Okay there. So what I want to do next, I want to add my fonts. Head over to fonts, head over to my font. So I have this font I have already downloaded named Devil Breeze. It's a very iconic font when you want to add some sort of dramatic stuff to your design or logo. It's nice for it. So I'm going to choose it over here, Devil Breeze, the name. So the link and the resource is going to be provided for you. So what I'm going to be doing next right now, I'm going to be increasing the sizing for this. So let's increase the size a little bit, and let's make sure position this at the middle, right? The next one to do now, I want to add some shapes. So head over to shapes, right? And we have this square shape over here, but we'll head over to this corner. I want to increase the radius, so increase the radius to 100, right? So click OK for that, right? Then we can play around and make this how we want it to look like, right? Let's copy this, right? Nice, and let's increase the sizing for this a little bit, and let's give this a color. Let's say we give it a color red or black. Let's give the first shape a color. I'm going to also give the second shape a color. We just leave it at white, right? So what I want to do next, okay, I want to make sure we're actually able to cover some part of our design. So we have this nice and cool over there. So we have this some sort of like a moon we want to create here over here. So let's position our white very, so let's just shift it in a little bit. Okay, so we should increase the sizing for our white a little bit. So we're going to increase the height. So let's try positioning it well now. So we have this over here, right? Sorry for the noise. So we have this over here. So what I want to be doing mainly, I want to merge both together, right? I want to merge both shapes together and cut out some parts. So firstly, let's also give these small shapes first. Let's give this small size. Okay, now let's go over to our mesh tool and let's tap our tool icon and let's merge this, right? So we have it. So we're gonna hit merge over here. So head over to erase column and on this, so automatically our white color is going to be erased for us. We can increase the tolerance if we want to. If we feel any need to, we can increase the tolerance for our white. So we'll move our white over there, and what we want to do, we want to try to rotate this. It's going to look like a ribbon. So let's position, let's rotate this, right? Okay, before we do that, let's make sure our A is at the middle first. So we're not going to make any mistake. So head over to relative position, make sure it's at the middle, right? So let's also head over to this and let's make sure this also is at the middle, right? So let's position this also now manually. We're going to move this up a little bit. Okay, we're going to also reduce the sizing for this. Let's also bring this down. Right, so let's check the rotation for this particular shape. Let's check the rotation for this. We have our rotation angle over here. So we can rotate it by 45 degrees, or you can just go as far as 60 degrees just mainly depends on your choice. So I'm going to go as far as 65 degree, and also learn to position the A. So I'm going to just tap the A and try positioning it properly. Let me reduce the speed and let me just try bringing it downwards a bit. Okay, let's also try rotating this manually a bit. To rotate it manually, you just hold this icon over there. So we have something like this here, the A, we have it over here, right? So what we want to do next, we want to make sure we save this state as a project so we can come back to it. So let's just save it as a project over here. We just put A moon. Okay, we are done with that, saving it as a project. What we want to do next now, quickly, we want to merge both of them. So we'll just go ahead and merge both of them. So just click OK. Now both of them have been merged, so we can position this as we will. So just position this over there, and when we head over to our text, I want to add some nice text down here. So we'll just go with a logo, right? We'll make sure position that head over to relative position. I'll make sure that is at the middle. So let's drag it down. Right, and let's also change the font for this. Head over to font down here and let's change the font. Can head over to my fonts, but I'm just going to go with some fonts that Pixellab has to offer me for this. So we have a lot of font options to choose from, like this is my personal favorite. We have this also over here. You can go ahead and just choose any font of our choice. So we have this a logo, and we can go ahead and add a tagline down. So this is a sample. You just go ahead. Right, so let's go over to font. So I'm just going to be reducing the text sizing for this. Okay, now let's increase the sizing for this a bit and let's position it well. Okay, let's increase the text sizing for the logo. Let's also position this well. Okay, so we have this over here. So head over to our Bizarre Designs. Let's try positioning this very correctly over here. Okay, want to make sure so this is at the middle. So we have this over here, right? Nice and cool like this over there. What I want to do next over here now, we can decide to save this state also as a project, right? So the reason why I'm saving a lot of different state as a project is for reference sake, right? So we can go with a moon 2 reference sake. I'm going to learn the importance as you continue to use Pixellab, right? So I've saved that as a project, so I'm going to go ahead and merge everything I'm doing here right now together. So and go ahead and merge some stuff together. Okay, so I've merged that to be as one. We want to do next, we can go over to, okay, we just merge, do the merging with both. So I've merged that. What we want to do, we want to head over to our texture area. I want to give this a texture. So we hit the image icon and we go over to where we keep our images and get some texture to use. So I'm just going to go over to where I keep my images and get some texture. So we have this nice texture over here. We're going to go with this. Okay, so we have this nice texture. You can try to use this texture and go ahead and play around with this if you want to, right? So but what we want to be doing here before we move ahead with our texture, I would like us to go ahead and add a background for this. So you click your background tool and hit from gallery, so you can add a background. So I have this background over here, so we just go ahead and add this as a background, right? So the next one to do now, we want to try our best to merge some stuff together, right? So we'll go ahead and try merging names together. Okay, we have merged everything now as one, right? Everything has been merged as one. So the next one to do real quick here is want to add some other images. So we're going to head over to our image tool, right? We're going to click the plus icon and hit from gallery. We need to import another different texture to this particular texture. So I'll also head over to where I keep some of my designs to get that. So I have this texture over here. I'm going to go with this texture. I want to do next, which you already noticed, we want to spread this over to relative size. I want to make the width 100, right? So we want to relative position this at the center, right? We want to make sure we relative position this at the center. So we have this over here. So head over to our layer 2. I want to bring our text forward. Okay, there we have it. Want to bring our text forward. And next we want to do real quick, right? It shouldn't take much of our time. Is want to emboss this our particular design we did. So we want to merge now. So we're going to merge both together, right? So it's our choice. We can play around with this. If you don't want to do it like this, we can have different options to choose different style we want to use. So I'm going to go over to erase column. So I'm going to erase some color over here, and I'm going to choose the color I want to erase. So we can go ahead and say, oh, erase black, right? Hope you get that, right? So we have erase black. So also you can go ahead and click the plus icon over here, and you can choose, oh, I want to erase this color, right? I'm going to tap the color you want to erase. So hope you basically see what I did there, right? So basically I have option to choose as many colors as you want to erase, right, by clicking the plus icon. So you can just decide to increase the tolerance if you want to, right, or not increase the tolerance at all. So this we have over here, right? You can also just click the plus icon if to add any more color you want to, you feel like you want to remove. If you use the picker icon to pick the icon, and you just can remove it by pressing good over there. So that is it for here. So we have this nice beautiful logo designed by Z Design. So what we want to do next, we are not done, we are not finished what we want to do. So we want to head over also to our shadows. So head over to shadows on this, right? So we want to make sure the blur radius, we reduce it, right, to 0. So the offset X, want to add some re-offset to this. So we can just leave it there as in -2. We can also decide to play around the offset Y. So you can definitely notice some changes while we are playing around with the offset X and Y. So we're also going to just put this in we're going to leave this in -2 also. So we're done there with our stroke, right? So we're going to head over to our 3D shape. We're going to under the bit and we're going to reduce the depth, right? We're going to leave it at the depth of 4. It's okay, right? So get at a depth of 4 is okay. I'm not sure we darken it, so just increase the darkness to 100. Oh, okay, that was a big mistake, right? I didn't want to increase the S rotation by any means. In fact, it's really boring. I'm cool. Thanks for the offer, but I just need it at 0 right now, right? So, but so we have it, right? So you just increase the dark, you can darken it to 100% and make sure the depth is at 4, right? So we are done with the 3D shape. We want to do lastly, we want to ever to emboss, right? If you want to, now this is like totally your choice. If you want to do this, if you want to do this, you can just go ahead and save your design at this point. We know by a long time ago we already done with our design, right? So can reduce the bevel if we want to. So let's just reduce the bevel. Maybe we'll just put it at 2 or 3. But the most important thing, the specular hardness should be increased. So also the ambient lighting and intensity should also be increased. Right, so now we have the positioning of the light. So you try positioning the light, right? So we have that over there. So that is it for this video. So one last thing we can do, we can head over to the last tool over here. So we have this last tool over here. It's used to edit the background, right? What I mean by that, you can decide to, oh, I want to reduce the brightness, or I want to increase the brightness. All these are basically your choice, right? And basically your choice to play around with this. Whenever you want, you can decide to reduce or increase the contrast. These are your choices, right? You can just go ahead and play with them if you want to, or if you're cool with this normal design, you can just leave it as it is and just decide to go with the flow. Even same with the emboss tool, you can decide to emboss this design or not, depending on how you see it's going to work out well for you, right? So you can just play around with everything, right? No pressure at all. Just play around with it and see what best works for you, and you're going to do it and get that right. So that is it for this video. We're going to add this to save as image. So we're going to save this as an image, and don't forget, once we keep this at the quality of ultra, it's going to come out to our printing, so we don't have any problem when we have saved it in our devices also, right? So we're going to save this to gallery, right? Thanks so much for watching this video. I'm going to see you in the next video.